Anybody there? Not yet. The mic's pretty good too, man. Everything's good.
Everything's good.
Yeah. Like for a laptop event, you said you got.
Yeah, 10 G's. 10 G's.
It's a really, really good laptop. And it's hard to find right now. Just because so many people do. Man, I suffer from too many passwords.
Well, you change it every second?
No, I change it like every 3 months, but it's just so many.
Every 3 months you change your password?
Yeah. You know?
Do you have a generator?
No, it's just different ones.
I've had the same password for years, bro. And I try to put it on everything.
What?
You really?
You can't do that, man.
I don't know. Super difficult.
I mean, it's super difficult to keep on.
Yeah. To change it because that's when I'm gonna forget it.
Okay.
You can change the thumbnail.
Can you? Yeah, thumbnail is not flat right now. So I don't like
Yeah. Good thing.
Well, you know what? So let's just talk about it. Let's just go into it. I think I can use this as well for an interview video.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm the managing director of Laccoin, and this is Jonathan, the COO of Laccoin as well. All right, so we'll just get into some of the things about Laccoin. Laccoin has started around the fourth quarter of 2017, when Jonathan, I, and our other co-founder, Vinette, we just had a general conversation about when cryptocurrencies were making all-time highs. And we thought, well, this is all in good, but I'm not sure that people who are in non-first world countries are aware of what's going on. So we put our head together, and then we came up with Laccoin. Now, the purpose of Laccoin is to target the remittance market. something that we have experienced and something that our family and friends have experienced as well. Um, to send money from my country, which is Canada, to anywhere within the LAC region, which is the Latin American and Caribbean region, is extremely costly. And during our research, we found out that um, it hovers between 6 to 7% of fees taking out of money that is being sent. So, for example, during our research, we found that people usually send around $200. The amount in the study was $222. And that happens at a frequency of 13 times a year. And within that 13 times a year, each time between 6 to 6.5% is taken out. Now that adds up to a lot of money that can be used for the recipient of the money. So we decided that looking through our research that Laccoin and cryptocurrency will be able to alleviate a lot of the pressure that people feel when sending money as well. Now, even though remittance is our larger market, um, Jonathan and I were talking about it, and he mentioned how that one of the real problems for cryptocurrency is the ability to spend. And Jonathan can elaborate on that.
Yeah, it's very difficult to have actual currency when you go to the store. If you have cryptocurrency, it's usually just whether it's Bitcoin or any other form of cryptocurrency. You can just use that. Bitcoin is, I think, obviously the most popular. You can use that probably at a convenience store to purchase things, very small things. But the main thing is to make sure that you can actually convert that currency, the representation of your money into actual dollars, and to be able to purchase, things, whether it's groceries at the store or like just something like commercially, whatever you need. That's our goal here, to make sure that you can use this currency to make actual purchases, right?
Yeah, that's correct. One of the main reasons that after Jonathan and I were talking that we have to make cryptocurrency real to the people in the LAC region. Now it's amazing that we will be able to transfer and save people money on the transfers from one of our LAC wallets to another LAC wallet. But what happens when that LAC wallet has that cryptocurrency in it? What do people do? So we decided that the only way to make it to take cryptocurrency into mass adoption is for people to be able to spend it, to be able to spend it in stores, to be able to use it in everyday life. But I don't think that Laccoin is the only one that faces this dilemma, as the whole cryptocurrency world also faces this dilemma of being able to use it in everyday life. Now, once we started to talk about that, we also thought that, well, if people are also saving the money, what if somebody else wants to give somebody else money? So we tacked on another product, which is our P2P loans. Now, this is kind of innovative. So in the LAC wallet, people will have, um, they'll have their stored LAC coins. Now, with their LAC coins, they can be able to loan money out, or loan those cryptocurrencies out to other people. Now, the innovative part of this is that a lot of people from the LAC region, or a lot of people in general, don't have bank accounts. It's a huge problem, especially within the LAC region, where I believe it is only 51%. The bank penetration rate for an active account by the World Bank is, for the LAC region, is 51%. Now, taking into account if somebody has a mobile phone or a social media platform, which is more accessible, we are able to generate a credit score for that person based on the usage of their Laccoins and based on some of the data that we will be able to collect from their social media accounts. Now, if a person has, say, a social media account, say Facebook, Twitter, and then they also supply government issued documents for KYC, then it will be able to generate a higher credit score. Now, people who have a higher credit score are able to loan out larger sums of money. As well, people who have a higher credit score are able to ask for greater sums of money. Now, this is all tied in together because now we have our Laccoin wallet. Now we have people that have a generated credit score. Now, after people have a generated credit score, it completes the ecosystem by using that credit score to determine if people can invest in the Union of Wealth Fund. Now, the Union of Wealth Fund is an idea that members of the Laccoin team have been floating around since, I believe, 2004, that we've had this discussion, as some members of the Laccoin have been involved in asset management. Now, with the credit score, we are able to determine if this person is risk tolerant for addition to the Union of Wealth Fund, which will invest in cryptocurrencies in a long-term effect. Basically, the Union of Wealth Fund is a sovereign wealth fund where we take care of our community. And by taking care of our community, we are able to generate low, moderate returns on the money that they put in. Now, the fee, so with the credit score, the fee going into the Union of Wealth Fund will be extremely low. But to make sure that the wealth stays within the Union of Wealth Fund, there will be higher fees for people that take the money out in a shorter period of time. So if somebody leaves their cryptocurrencies in the Union Wealth Funds, say for 4 or 5 years, their exit fees will be lower than somebody that leaves the Union Wealth Fund, say within 6 months. They will pay a higher exit fee, which is in turn a higher management fee. And the management fee will be broken down into management fee and tech support as well. Now that completes the whole Laccoin ecosystem, which each part is integral to each part. So the Laccoin wallet, then the debit cards or prepaid cards. We're not opposed to looking into that option. And from there towards our P2P loans, which has 3 tiers. And after that, your generated credit score acts as approval to the Union of Wealth Fund. Now, even though some people won't be accepted into the Union Wealth Fund because their credit score is low, but the whole community will benefit as well, because with the Union Wealth Fund, we'll be actively buying cryptocurrency assets in the market, and then spreading that around. Now, it kind of goes just like the debit card, which has different levels, where somebody who holds a larger amount of Lac coins will gain a bigger amount of rewards when they're using the debit cards as well. Now that is a brief overview of Laccoin. Our company is registered within Ontario, Canada, but the majority of the team right now, we are in Taiwan, and we are in Jonathan's lovely place. Yeah, so that is a brief overview of what Laccoin is and how the ecosystem works. Now, I can go into some details of each part of the product. So Laccoin is, we didn't cover this at the beginning, but Laccoin is based on the Ethereum blockchain. We're not opposed to looking into creating our own blockchain as even though Ethereum is extremely good, that there's some challenges that they still have to overcome, such as the transactions per second. And if Laccoin gets adopted on a mass scale, the network could be extremely crowded, and that would slow down day-to-day transactions that people would make. So let me just talk about the Union of Wealth Fund a little bit more, as we also have gotten a lot of questions on that. The assets that we are going to manage in the Union of Wealth Fund will be primarily cryptocurrencies. Now, the way we manage the cryptocurrencies in a way is to make sure that the volatility of the cryptocurrencies doesn't affect the balance of the fund so much. So we've devised a unique way to make sure that certain assets of cryptocurrencies that we hold are not as volatile as other assets that we hold within the Union of Wealth Fund. So take, for example, if Bitcoin has a huge volatility of, I don't know, say in a day it moves between 10 to 15%. This is just an example. And then you have another cryptocurrency such as, I don't know, let's pick XLM, and their volatility is only between 2 to 3%. So we won't hold as much Bitcoin because the volatility will have an effect on the portfolio of the Union of Wealth Fund. So we'll hold more of XLM. Now, it will average its way out in terms of the weight in the fund because of the volatility. So that the main purpose of the fund is, one, to pick well diversified assets that will go into the Union of Wealth Fund. Two, to make sure that the volatility is kept down at a reasonable amount of volatility where the highs are not too high and the lows are not too low, to ensure that there is modest growth for the fund itself. Now, we're not opposed to adding traditional assets to the cryptocurrency Union of Wealth Fund. I'm not sure in terms of a regulatory fashion how we're going to do that, but if we can, we will. But our aim is to hold cryptocurrencies Majority of the fund will be in terms of cryptocurrencies. Something that we also devised to help manage the volatility in the Union of Wealth Fund is that we will not burn coins during our ICO and after our public ICO. Now, a lot of ICOs have done away with keeping the coins or the tokens. They actively want to burn the tokens as a way to increase the value and the shareholder value of the tokens that people have. We take an opposite approach to that. We're not going to burn any tokens at all. So the fixed amount of 700 million will be the fixed amount. Now, the reason why we do that is that we will actively have a committee to go into the Laccoin market to buy LAC tokens as a way to ease the volatility. So, put it like this. The central bank goes into the market when in times of severe turbulence in the market to calm the market. And in times of when the market is too hot, they go into the market again to cool the market. At Laccoin, we will have our own committee. Not too many members of the team will be in that committee. It will be a kind of a third-party committee that has no real part within the gain of making Laccoin go either up or down as a way to regulate volatility. I don't believe anybody else is doing this, but it is something else as a measure we have where we can regulate the volatility within the Laccoin market. It is something that is, I believe, unique, and something that is unique and a unique way and a unique approach as a way to fix the volatility problem that cryptocurrencies have. As the volatility for cryptocurrencies, because there hasn't been mass adoption, is very large, as we can say. Does that say that the chat is not connected? Oh, okay, reconnected. Okay. Yep, and that is the brief overview of Laccoin. So we're just going to wait now and see if we can take some questions from our community. We will be doing this once a week until, we'll try to do it once a week until the public ICO has launched. So next week, we'll be back here again, ready to answer any kind of questions that that you guys might have. Okay, we can talk about the things that we plan to do. We've decided to split up the pre-ICO and the public ICO. Pre-ICO, we got, if everything runs smooth, and everything runs right, cross fingers, we'll launch on September 1st. Now, in the meantime, after our pre-ICO has gone, we will use the 2 months to complete our MVP, our minimal viable product, and our prototype. Now, we probably won't launch until we have a minimal viable product. So even though the date is put as November 1st, even though the date has been put as November 1st, if the minimal viable product or the prototype is not ready, we will push back that date, as we do not want to launch until we have finished our app. Right? We've been talking for 30 minutes now.
30 minutes. It goes by very quickly.
It does. It goes by extremely quickly. We can tell you about the progress we've been making. We can't tell you any names, but we've had some meetings with some banks, and they've been keen on becoming partners with us. But at the same time, even though they're keen to become partners with us, there is regulatory issues that we face, and we have to find a bank that will partner with us that is in a regulatory environment that is cohesive and cooperative in terms of what we're trying to do. All right. Now this stream has gone on well, and we'll end it in the next 2 minutes, and then we will see you guys back here next week.
I guess next week we can go a little bit more in depth in terms of our, I guess, the research that has gone into like making this a possibility. That's very important. If I guess anyone watching would be interested in either, I guess, being like, well, following the project more closely, or they know anyone that I guess is interested in something of this kind, right? We're going to try and explain as much as possible, you know, because we on the white paper, obviously, I don't know if anyone really reads every single word, but throughout the weeks leading up to I guess the pre and public ICO, we can definitely like give you some figures, some numbers to go along with all our goals that we would like to meet. So thank you for your time, listening, and we hope to see you back next week.
That's right. So this time, as this grows, because this is the first time, but as this grows, we have English, and the next time we'll do, as our Spanish-speaking community grows, we'll do Spanish as well. But for the meantime, we are doing English. I think that's as much as we're going to cover this week. Next week, we'll promote it a little bit better, and then we'll be able to answer questions live that people have. Now, I believe at the end of this stream has all been recorded, and that we will post this stream and where people can watch it. It's a 30 minutes of us just talking. So we'll chop it up, not to make it too boring. But this is a thank you to everybody that has supported Laccoin from the beginning, to all of our team members that are supported as well, to all our admins that have done an excellent work in the Telegram channel, and as well as to everybody else that has helped us on the bounty. We have been extremely humbled by the response that we have gotten so far, as it is quite overwhelming and quite amazing. It is truly heartfelt. It is. All right, so we'll end it this time for this week, and we will be here next week at the same time. All right, thank you all.
All right, thank you.